What's going on, Twitch and YouTube? Welcome to episode 6 of my Starship Evo builds on the U.S.S. Revengeance. I'm Zero Elite, and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in to today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And first of all, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays, happy New Year. I haven't had a video this past week. I decided to take the week off. My girlfriend was on vacation. I wanted to spend a little bit extra time with her and also give myself a chance to briefly recharge on doing videos. But now we're going to be back in the normal swing of things of getting content out Mondays through Fridays. So everyone that's been with me, I definitely appreciate that. And I've had a lot of cool things going on in the background, new builds coming, and today we're going to be picking up where we left off. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've worked on the Revengeance, but we're going to get her done. Today we have about a 25-minute video. We're going to be focusing on the Starship nacelles / engines. You can see that in episode 5, we had gotten the outline of them done. Today, we're going to make them 3D. So, I've already gone ahead, and I'm going to do this before every single video, but if you're still new to shipbuilding on Starship Evo, you're going to want to grab your symmetry tool and add your line here in the middle, so this way we can build a little bit smarter and not harder. So everything that we do on this left engine, it's automatically going to do on the right side for us to save us about 20 minutes worth of work or more. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. From episode 5, we had gotten, I think, one row done on each side of the wireframe, just in the front to get some thickness. I'm not sure that we're going to go much more than 3 wide at this time. I think we might go out maybe one more to bring it 5 total. But it's going to be a slant here, and I think anything more than that will just be overkill. But I think this is going to work out pretty good, and if you're curious, the references that I use for this build, I kind of talked about a little bit in episode 1, not so much recently for the Revengeance, but I used a couple of different ships. Of course, the U.S.S. Vengeance from Star Trek Into Darkness. It's got a little bit of the Enterprise A DNA in it. It's got some of the Enterprise E in it. It's got a lot of Riker's ship from Star Trek Picard. But really, at the end of the day, this is a Section 31 ship. So I really try to take all those elements together to try to come up with this. I'm not really going off of any set pattern for this ship. I'm literally just winging it. The first 5 episodes have been somewhat successful on here. And if you're enjoying this tutorial, definitely drop a comment below on YouTube if you're following me on YouTube. And if you're watching me on Twitch, be sure to drop a comment below. Definitely would love to hear back from you regarding this build and if you're enjoying this content today. But I always have new content coming out for you Mondays through Fridays. If you're watching me on Twitch, you're catching my stream Sunday night. I do my streams typically between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern, Sunday nights through Thursdays. And you can follow me at twitch.tv/Zero Elite. That's for the YouTube community. And if you haven't checked me out on YouTube, what are you waiting for? Go check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/Zero Elite. You can always catch my new Minecraft builds as well as my Starship Evo builds. That's on Monday, and then Minecraft is Tuesdays through Fridays. But anyway, to get a little bit back into what we got going on here, I'm really just doing this gingerly, and I'm just adding in one row at a time on each side. And I'm kind of cheating at this point, even though it's not really cheating. I'm just going off of the pre-existing outline that we already have. You really think about it, a lot of the work has already been done because we've got the outline of this thing. Really, the only thing we were doing at this point is, graciously adding in a row at a time here, a row at a time there, until we get to a desired thickness that we want, and also making sure that everything lines up with our outline. Um, and as you see here, you'll see a little bit more of what I mean. And I've got a little bit of a rhythm to my madness here. You can see I'm going right up to the cut line here, and there's a reason for that. It's because if I take these slants go any further back, it's going to mess up the whole build. Um, so that's going to be definitely your go-to for this build, not only for this portion, but pretty much for the entire build. Um, One thing I always talk about on Minecraft, when you get used to doing your patterns, I think the same thing is true for Starship Evo. When you get used to doing your patterns on here and you get a little bit more used to shipbuilding, you'll get accustomed to it. Um, but in the beginning, what I just recommend, just go by the cut line. And you can see that I'm starting by this back cut line and we're going right up to this next one. So that's what I mean by that. And what's going to happen when we start to close in our hull, since we're going by our cut line, everything's going to start to marry together. Um, Way more so on Starship Evo than it would on Minecraft. Um, I know I get some flack here and there for comparing the two games, even though they're so completely different, but they still have that one similarity being the building block game. But there's so much more that you can do with this game. As you can see, all these different blocks are fantastic, and they're really going to help me here to bring this build to life. At this point, it's just a matching game, because I'm literally just matching up the middle row that we got here. We're going to get a regular block down. All right, now we're going to start our next row on the right side of the left side engine. You can see I'm using that angled block there to kind of curve it off on the side. Now we're going to do the same thing on the outer side. I want to make sure I flip that up, the right angle. There we go. And now we're going to bring that all the way back, just past the cut line, which I think I'm going to need to adjust that. We're going to have to stop that right at the cut line for this one. Otherwise, it's going to throw part of it out of whack. I'm not sure that I caught that. I might have, which is hopefully why I'm deleting those two lines right there. But it looks like I did that for 2 rows. And really the important reason why I'm doing this right now is because if you don't have your rows matching up with your cut line, stuff isn't going to line up. So we want this to really kind of convey the illusion that, it's a solid ship to sell, and that's not something that you'd see in those ships. So really, and I just did it again, I got to bring one back. Unless it's blending right off of that, which I don't think it is. We're going to have to look at that in just a second. Okay, no, it's not. I had a block right here. Perfect. So I am going right up to the cut line. But that's definitely important because it's going to make everything match up here. And we're just going to bring this all the way back. No, we're good. I got a block there. And one thing you can definitely do while you're working on this build, if you're not exactly sure what to do or what you're going to reference, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I just grabbed a bunch of different source material of a ship that I wanted to do. And believe it or not, this was a community suggestion from people on my YouTube channel. I had somebody suggest that I build something that I used to build when I was a kid and when I used to build with Legos. And something that me and my brother used to do with Legos, and then also when we had the models from Star Trek, we used to make our own ships. And we must have gone through probably like 100 enterprises of every single one that they made of a model. We had them all, but we'd have our battles, and let's just say ships would get destroyed, and then we get the parts, and we use those parts to make new ship variations and just kind of mash pieces together. and then those ships would get destroyed, and then we just keep going. But that was a lot of the inspiration for why I decided to do this ship. I wanted to have a little bit of fun with this, and do something that looked cool. And also, this has always been kind of like sitting in the back of my head that don't get me wrong, I like the Vengeance, but I don't know how I felt about the overall design of it. I would have toned parts of it down, like with what they did with it. And I've talked a lot about that in some of my other streams that I've done, um, when I did the tutorial for the Enterprise, and also when I was doing the Vengeance. But I love the Kelvin timeline, but you can tell that the artists that they hired, well, maybe not necessarily even the artists, but the producers and the people that made the movie and decide the look of it, they weren't Star Trek fans at heart, and into they didn't take care of Star Trek in the same way that J.J. Abrams took care of Star Wars, for example. They were very respectful, to Star Wars. If something looked one way at one point, it looked the same way in the future. And I could get like the TOS era updating that because it's hard, um, to make it match when the Shatner show was dealing with a budget of $50 and a box of Christmas lights, and that's pretty much it. But they could have, at least kept the designs a little bit closer. So that's really what I'm trying to do here. Um, because the Vengeance was, actually, believe it or not, the original design idea for the Vengeance was a stealth version, well, stealth slash battlecruiser version of the Enterprise, and that's something I kind of like really took into heart with this, and then just kind of threw in a couple other element design cues and kind of went from there. But I think she definitely looks, she looks really cool. I mean, she's not the Vengeance. She's not, the Enterprise E. She's not the Enterprise A. She's a little bit of everything, which is kind of cool. I've even actually got to hop back on here. There's one or two things I need to do on this build. I've already actually completed it, and if you want to check this out on, if you have Steam, be sure to follow me at Zero Elite, just like it's spelled on my Twitch channel, and if you're following me on YouTube, YouTube as well, spelled the same way. And I've got this video up right now, and if you aren't following me and you don't have time to, but you still want to download it, I got you too. The link is in the description below on my YouTube channel. If you're following me Sunday night, if you're watching this video live, I won't have this link available, but tomorrow morning on Monday, um, at 10 a.m., this video will be on my YouTube channel. So be sure to go to my YouTube channel if you're watching this tonight at youtube.com/c/0 elite, and you can download this build. She has already been completed, and has an interior included. In fact, one of the newest updates that they added in Starship Evo, warp capabilities. This ship is warp capable, and it's already been installed. So what are you waiting for? Download this ship, check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Definitely would love to hear from you. If you're enjoying this original build, let me know that in the comments section. If there's more ship mashups that you would like to see me do, what ship mashups would you like to see? Maybe somebody would like to see the Enterprise A and the Reliant mixed together. I don't know. There's the possibilities are endless there, and if I get enough interest in that, that's something I could definitely start doing. I think that would be pretty fun. Um, and of course, any other builds in general, doesn't have to be a completely unique build. If you go on my YouTube channel, I've got a whole bunch of builds that I've done on Starship Evo already. I've done the DeLorean from Back to the Future. I've done the a Bird of Prey. I've done the Eagle 5 from Spaceballs. I've done a bunch of ships. So really, my only requirement is that just something that I can get behind that's nerd related. Um, so let me know what you think in the comments section as we're rocking and rolling on this build today. We're getting some stuff done. We were going to finish at least the shell of these engines by the end of this video. Excuse me, I have a frog in my voice there. But yeah, no, we'll finish this up. At least the shape of the engines, we'll fill them in all the way, but we will still have some detailing that will have to get done on this part of the build, because there's just going to be a lot of detail in certain parts of it, and other parts it's going to be very plain and slender, because I am trying to at least embrace the idea a little bit of that, the fact that it's going to be kind of like a stealth fighter. That's more or less what the Section 31 ships were like. But at the end of the day, I still want it to look like a Federation ship. Um, so there's going to be a couple of choices that I make, which I'm sure not everybody will like. But regardless whether you like it or not, let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. And you never know if it's an idea that you have. I might not have considered it, and I might end up incorporating it in my build. There's been plenty of times I've gotten comments from people who give me suggestions on my builds, and ended up working out really, really well. So everyone that's taken the time to do that, I can't thank you enough for it. And you're definitely one of the reasons why my ships come out that much better, because I definitely appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch my videos. Whether it's to give me constructive criticism, or whether it's to just tell me that they enjoyed my videos, or that they needed help on a build and I was able to help them. Regardless of the reason, just makes me happy that I'm at least providing content that you're enjoying. So if there's any other content that you would like to see me do, let me know in the comment section, and we'll go from there. But at this point, we're now getting to a point where we're starting to add some thickness here on the sides. And again, this is going to be a matching game to keep everything consistent. Literally just going to be matching the blocks on the outer lip here on the sides. And that's how we're going to keep it even. So we're going to need, I need to switch that angle there. I don't think that's going to work. So we're using the regular block with like the triangle that's on it at an angle. So what I did was I put a block up here so I have something to snap to. But I don't think I did that right. Nope, I done messed it up. And I could be wrong, but what I actually need is this piece right here or this piece right here. From what I could tell, it's this piece right here. Nope, I got it to work with the block with the triangle on it, but you can see how with that block there, it's kind of almost taking its own shape. We're just going off of the rule that we're going with the cut line and the shape that it's already got on the sides, and just making it blend in together, and whatever shape it takes from that, it takes. That's how a lot of this, the hull lines on the ship came out this way. You know, when you build out, take the time to build out your wireframe first. It's going to save you time from how the rest of your ship is going to come out, especially on Starship Evo. I went way too far with that line. Let's bring it on back to the cut line. There we go. I could have even added one more row there. Right now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Now the only downside to that symmetry tool is that, of course, everything I'm doing on this left engine, it's doing on the right side engine for me, but I still, whatever process I repeat on the left side of this engine, I have to repeat it on the right side of this engine as well. But that's not a big deal. At least we're still have the advantage of only having to build one side of the ship while it does the other side for me, which is, I mean, I've been playing Starship Evo for a couple of months, and I'm still super impressed by that mechanic alone. I haven't been playing it as much lately as I would like. Um, I've been waiting until I catch up on this tutorial series because I want to finish up the Revengeance. Because, like I said, I've had enough interest in the videos that I'm going to keep it going. But if you can definitely help me out and like, subscribe, and share this video to help spread the word, that would be really cool. Um, but there's definitely some stuff we got going on. Kind of had another place I was going with that, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But that's okay. Just gonna move on and push forward here. So we've got part of our front side done. Now we're just gonna do the same thing on this left side here. You can see I'm not bringing it any wider out. I'm literally just filling in the walls. So this is going to be, I mean, when you're at this point, this is one of the simplest parts of the build. When you just follow a couple of rules, go by the cuts and go by the shape of your ship. And if you follow those two rules, it's very, very difficult for you to make a mistake. Because if you actually follow those rules and continue to go by it, what's going to happen is that, let's say that you do make a mistake. If you're looking for those things that you're supposed to be doing, that's where you're going to catch those mistakes. That's why I was able to catch my own mistake earlier on in this video where I didn't have my cut lines matched up with the sides because it would mess things up later on. So I went back and I fixed it, but I was looking for it. So, you know, if you're not really seeing that stuff right now, don't worry about it. You have to understand also at this point that I've done a lot of ships on both Starship Evo and Minecraft. But you'll develop that skill over time. Which, of course, now as soon as I say Starship Evo, I remember what I was talking about. That I haven't played that much Starship Evo lately, and no, I've been waiting for them to get a little bit more content out for it. Don't get me wrong. If you haven't played this game and you have Steam, and you're a fan of Star Trek, um, or you like building and you want to be able to, or if you like building in Minecraft but you want to be able to use your stuff, seriously, check out this game. I have seen other people that have said other games are better. Um, I have to disagree with them. I've even tried Space Engineers, and I got to tell you, I can honestly say at this point that I pretty much hated Space Engineers. I've tried to be nice about it, but I'm giving my honest opinion of it. I did not enjoy that game one bit, and I tried so hard to get into it. Um, but it's they made that game the well, first of all, the learning curve on it was ridiculous. I never even got to a point where I had a ship and I was flying around. um, and then on top of that, like, the difficulty of it is so ridiculously hard that if, like, the tiniest pebble asteroid hits you, your ship goes flying and explodes, and you lose, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50%, maybe more of your ship. So that was a little bit ridiculous. But anyway, no, Starship Evo is definitely worth playing. I'm just waiting for them to get a little bit more stuff out and also catch up to my build progress on the Revengeance. Um, so this way, once I start getting to a point where I feel like I'm getting close to the end of this tutorial series for this build, I'm really going to start hopping on here and start working on what my next build is going to be so this way there's no gap in between content. So again, you know, if there's something you want to see me build, now's definitely the time to throw in those suggestions. Even if I don't respond to your comment right away, or if I don't respond to it, don't get discouraged by it. I could very well be saving that for a later build, or saving it so I can see it later, because I also compare suggestions based off of what other people are suggesting too. So this way I can try to keep the content relevant, but at the same time, you know, trying to provide what everybody would like to see on the channel. So be sure to drop those comments below, because we're not going to be working on this build forever, but we still have some stuff to do. We're not done with the outside just yet, and we still have an interior to build. But this ship, once we get into the interior, I don't think we're going to be really lollygaggling around too much inside of it. We're really going to blow through it quick, because I especially remember when I was working on the interior, I really didn't have too many problems with it. In fact, the only thing that I couldn't do that I wanted to do was build a working elevator in this thing. And I know I've been saying this. I found the guy that made a working elevator on here. I downloaded his build, but I haven't actually got on Starship Evo yet to mess with it and see how it works. But my plan is to figure all that out and be able to make working turbo shafts or turbo lifts inside of my starships on Starship Evo. Once I do that, I think I'll be uh, pretty happy, because I've seen a couple other people doing ship builds on here, and not that they're bad or anything. There are some pretty impressive people on Starship Evo, first of all, as far as builders. But I've seen some other people that they don't do some things that I do on here, as far as little things like attention to detail. And that's something I get really excited about, because I feel like there's a niche that I can get into with Starship Evo, and, you know, get a maybe somewhat of a following behind that, because there's not that many people out there that build ships like I do on there, which is really exciting. And it's also exciting just all the different stuff that you can do on here. I mean, heck, I made a somewhat working mech slash Optimus Prime on here. I mean, I didn't even know if that would be possible. And I mean, yeah, it was kind of janky in the sense because his arms just pretty much did like windmill power punch spins. But the fact that they work, and I can twist and I can do windmill power punch spins, and I can open my hand and turn that into a waving Autobot pimp slap, I think that's pretty cool. And it gets me really excited over some of the stuff that they're going to be adding on here. I know that they had mechs on here at one point. I really hope that they add them back. And there's so much stuff that I've been saying it that they need to add. I mean, first of all, being able to go on other planets in this game is a must. And before they really get into doing any other crazy stuff, that needs to be the next thing that they do, because otherwise, you're really just getting on this game to build, which is which is fine and dandy for right now, but 3 or 4 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, I think people will get over the game at that point. So hopefully they get it out there sooner rather than later, because this game's got some potential. I mean, there are a few games that, put it this way, there are a few games that I've played that are building games, and even block building games that I'll actually stick with. And really, the only games that I play for building at this point is um, Minecraft, of course, Starship Evo, Ark Survival Evolved, and Planet Coaster. Between those games, I pretty much get everything out of. I pretty much scratch that building edge. There's nothing else that I've seen that has really gotten my attention. But if there's any other games out there that I'm not touching on that you think I would be into, let me know in the comments section. I definitely would love to check them out because I'm always looking for what other games I could possibly get into, but it's got to be something that I can get into. But if you've been following me on my YouTube channel, I'm a huge nerd. I love building, and if I can use those builds, that's even better. And there's definitely a ton of stuff that we're going to be using this thing on. But we have shot through this video. 25 minutes went by like nothing, but the shell of the outside of the ship, I can say, is done. And man, she is looking good. Tell me that doesn't look, I mean, from the side profile, you can't tell me that doesn't look a little bit closer to what um, a stealth battlefield Section 31 Constitution class would probably look like. Not saying it's perfect, and we still have some work to do. We got to get the detailing in now. It's just a very plain build. Um, and the detailing is really where this thing is going to come to life. And I'm super excited to get into that because uh, that's one of my strong points, attention to detail. And I'm going to show you over the next couple of videos how you can take something like this and bring it to life. Even right behind it, if you see my NX-01, that's got a ton of detail in it, even though that was actually my very first build on Starship Evo. So take that in consideration also. But it's got a lot of you got to look for the moments and the attention to detail in your ship and what's going to make it come to life, and which we're going to get right into that in the next episode. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap us up today. I've definitely talked about a whole bunch of stuff, and we've got some cool things built today. I feel pretty accomplished. We've gotten a lot done. But I think that's going to wrap us up, like I was saying. And if you did enjoy today's video, if you can please help me out and hit that like and subscribe button, I can't thank you enough for it. And if you share this video, I'll be forever in your debt. And don't forget, if you're on Twitch and you're following me tonight, you can always catch my new Twitch stream Sundays through Thursdays. And don't forget, you can do that on twitch.tv/Zero Elite. My streams typically drop between 9 and 10 p.m. And if you're looking to ask me questions live regarding my builds, that is the best place to do it because you can get me live while I'm doing it. And if you're looking to check me out on YouTube, don't forget you can catch me on YouTube at youtube.com/C/Zero Elite. And you can catch my new Minecraft videos Tuesdays through Fridays, dropping between, or excuse me, they drop at 10 a.m. And I also forgot to mention my Starship Evo builds, of course, dropping Monday morning at 10 a.m. Which brings me to my last part. Don't forget to follow me or catch my next episode this coming Monday for episode 7 on the U.S.S. Revengeance. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. Just want to thank you again. You have any questions regarding this build? If I didn't get specific enough, drop a comment below. Anything you want to see me build, drop a comment below. I hope everybody has a happy and safe week, and I will catch you on tomorrow's video. Have a great night.